Yeah, you didn't lose any money on the trade, but you didn't make any money on the trade. Not yet any. We're coming back to our pivot. I would suspect we're going to see the 850, but I don't know. You know, if you're still believing that position, we're at another spot to uh, it's going to come on down. Now we're below our pivot. Next area of support is going to be down here at the 95. That 12 is going to be key for a few minutes here. Probably the next 10, 15 minutes. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. The reason I'm telling you what I'm thinking is just to show you that, look, even though that we have a good idea where it's going, you know, and I bought the 18s, and here we are trading down here the 3705 area. Uh, you know, you're only right until you're wrong. Then I still believe in the position. I mean, the analysis that says that I believe we're going to go back and test that 32 area. Now, question is I don't know how it's going to do it. And so now I have to figure out, okay, how am I going to trade this? And everybody that sees this or looks at it is going to see it a little bit differently. And so, as Saul says, don't have a bias. I have a bias at the moment. I'm trying to trade that bias. I believe we're going to go back to it. I have to be real careful and not let it bite me in the butt. Well, we're back to our blue band. Now, we have to look at that 17 to back to that 12 area that I was mentioning a second or two ago. And so I will trade that bias, but I don't want to lose money trading the bias, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And, if I jumped in, I have to respect that blue band and take some profits. I have to realize that 12 that I was talking about earlier, we're back to it again. And we got some news coming out here at 9, another 5 minutes. Right now, we've got some resistance here at 18. So we've come down to the pivot, went below it, come back above it, we're back at it. Somebody looks like they came in with a big sell order up there about 10 minutes ago. Just looking at the price action. Yep, it'll do it. I mean, it is. I guess that's the the whole problem with trading the E-mini is that if you look at the in a lot of movements, it just we go up, we come, it goes up, it comes down, it goes down, it comes up. It just it's a back and forth movement, and then one time it goes a little bit further than it did the last time, then it'll retract back to that. That 12 is going to be key here for a few more minutes. We're at 9 o'clock now. News should be out. Let's see what they want to do with it. Ladder ticket thinned out. Coming down into our 95 area. The 3,700 area was a big spot yesterday. We're coming down to our green band. We had a reason to buy it for a bounce. Yeah, we're coming down to our 95 spot. Just keep your stops in. There, you're getting paid off if you held your 95. 'Well, now we just determined, did we take profits? Do we try and hold on? We getting greedy? What's the deal? 3,700 would be a nice target up in there. We've got to fix it about a 3188, almost a 32 handles. So this thing's going to be volatile. You know, we've had about 4 minutes now to make up your mind what you want to do with it. Next level down here is going to be at 88. There we go. Our 88's working. Took us a minute to get stabilized and reversed out. Give you 7 points at 95. $97, $98. We're back up to our 95 level. Might want to cover some of them right in here. $3,700 is still a realistic spot, but we got what 99 and stopped. You got, if you got in at the 88s, there was a 10-point run in there. It took a little over 2 minutes. We need to get back above 95 and stay above it. Let's see. We've had the 22 this morning. It worked. We didn't get a whole bunch out of it, but we got out of it. The 31 worked real well. The 95, you had to stand a little heat, but it gave you a spot to get out. It basically worked. The 88s worked real well. And now we're twiddling our thumbs. We're back to our green band. Also back just above our 95. We got that 3,700 spot in there. We get above, let's see. I have to wait another minute to see, or another 10 seconds, something like that. If we get above, they sure are trying to do it right now. We got to get above 3,700. Hmm. I'll tell you what, if we're going up, we're going to have to regain that 05 level pretty quick. Probably the next 10, 15 minutes. Now we're pressing on a 32 VIX. That means when it moves, it's going to move fast. You know, we should have already hit that 3,700. I'm getting a little impatient. There we go. Now we can start up. We can regain the 05 and stay above it at 9 o'clock. Let's see, where would I expect the scene to go if we get back above the 32? Yeah, we're at 31.61 now. You know, I don't trade the VIX. I just kind of glance at it. I keep it up on my little control panel. It just tells me what the price is, and I'm not sure that it's a live price. It's probably laggard, but what it does tell me is, look, we got lots of volatility in this market. Let's see, we got a high of 37.32. Let's see. If we get back above 32, I would look to see at least 38.75 to 45, somewhere in that area. Let's see if we stay below where we are at now. 704. Okay, we're coming up to our old 4. We got a little resistance up here at about the 11 area. $37.70. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, guys, we need to stay above that. I'd like to see us to get back to the down that 11 or 12 area. We need to stay above this 05. Yeah, I can post them in there for you. It's no problem. Just give me a second here. All right, I'll put them in the chat. So there we go. There's the numbers in the chat again if anybody needs them. As we go along in the, we put these numbers out, and then the market starts unfolding. I make adjustments. I may have a bias, and I may have to put the bias on hold because it hasn't changed. Now we're coming up back up into that 11 area. We've got a little bit of resistance up here. We also have a pivot at 12. 37.10 is a pretty good size little number right in that area. So we're going to have to get back above 12, 14. I think we ought to retest it, but it just that's just, like I say, that's just my opinion. That's what the price action says that it's going to do. The question is it's okay. Okay, we're gonna, I've known it's going to retest it a while, since before 9 o'clock, or at least that's what I thought. Now the question is if you believe in that scenario, how do you trade that scenario safely? It just, if you have an opinion, and basically all this is opinions. We have areas that we believe that this market should react, and that is our opinion from past experiences, and it should work. Well, some of them work better than others. Some of them give us great, but Yeah, I have to say, if I had to put a box right now, I would, on the downside, I would take and put me an area starting at about 97 down to 91, somewhere in there. And I would kind of use that as that big area as kind of like a big wide line, so to speak, if that makes any sense. Let's see here. Right now, I have a bias from 97 to back to 0450. My bias changes about every few minutes, so don't pay any attention to me. But we haven't, we're not at a level. Our last level was down at 88. Uh, no matter what our thought process is, reality says, hey, this is where we're at. This is where we're trading. You can write down that 97. We got back to the 450. What is the VIX today? Right now, I've got 3128. We've been to almost a 32 level. Now we're back to 3134. we've got a lot of resistance up here at the 9, the 10, the 12, and 14 areas. If we can get if we can get back on up there at the 14, 15 area, we may test our highs and above. You know, I cheated. I say I cheated. I'm price action trading now since we're not at a level. I'm still trading toward my bias. Uh, I bought the 97s looking for the 450. I got one. I'm holding one. Now, there's a lot of clutter up here at this, uh, the 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 area. There's this. So, the question is okay, where are we going from here? Are we going back down to that 7 again? It would not surprise me. And so, for everybody's information, I'm out up here at the blue band area. I got out at 8. I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs. If it jumps back up to the 9, 10 area, I might get long again. But right now, I'd rather get long below than above. So my goal is, yeah, I may have these longer term plays in mind, but I don't want to sit to be right. I'm here to make money. I'm here to scalp the market. So I can buy, get in, get out, buy, get in, get out. As long as you're doing that and it's working toward your direction, then hey, you're making money. I mean, that's a whole key to all this. Everybody needs to make money because we need to come back and play another day. It's not about being right. It's just about making money. Of course, you have to be right to make money. And when you're wrong, you have to recognize that you're wrong and get out. I could have been wrong a lot of times on the way down. Instead, I've been buying our levels, buying some price action plays, doing this, doing that. And it's just like, okay, I'm down to here, buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it. We're coming back up to our pivot area. We got up to 1050. My price action pass says we're going back to 1050. So the question is where do you buy it at? There's our 1050. We come up to our pivot. If you sold our pivot, you're doing excellent. I did not. I was getting out. We have that 97 still hanging out down there. I will be right back. Okay, Lloyd, what's your question? Well, okay. We don't pick and choose which levels are better levels than others. I do. I'm guilty of it. I guess everybody out here that trades the levels, it's hard to step in front of a freight train. You see this thing and it's just zooming down to an area, and you think, oh, it's going to get run over. Well, it hits a level, goes through it 2 or 3 points, and it turns around and runs up 10. There's no crystal ball that tells us. All we're looking for is areas of the market to have a reaction at. And we don't know where these are, so there's not really. We take the levels. If we're a little bit skittish, we don't have to take the levels. I mean, if Saul told me when I first started with him, he said the only difference between himself and myself was, he says, I believe in the levels. He said, I've done it long enough to know that these levels work. And so it becomes a confidence builder to, if you're worried about a level, you don't have to take it. There's a lot of times I miss trades left and right, and that's okay. I don't care. So there's not a right answer to that. It's just that, you have to have the confidence in these levels to trade them. And if you don't have that confidence, then you're gonna start picking and choosing, and you're gonna pick a good one, then you're gonna pick a bad one or a couple of bad ones, and it's been my experience. And you can, if you write these levels down every day, go back and look at them. Say, okay, we go back a month. What, in a month's time, if I would have taken every trade, that every level, just the levels, nothing else, would I have made money? And it's about 70+% of the time you're going to make money. And I guess in all situations, I've read the books, and I know everybody else out there has too, about, you don't have to be, it'd be great to be in the 80 and 90 percentile range. But some guys that are just multimillionaire type traders are only right like 40% of the time. The only difference is they're able to let their winners run, and they stop themselves out quick. And so it's not about, I've been talking about being right this morning. How do you trade a bias? And And for me, it's real hard because I've had enough experience to say, okay, we're going to get back to this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I'm trading that sucker. I'm still trading, looking for that 32. But I have learned in my deals is okay, when you're right, you know, you just can't, it's hard to trade one launch doing this because you can, and you can, you'll make a little here and a little there. And but once you get out, you've got to have a place to get back in again. So you either miss the rest of the trade or you're waiting for a pullback. And in this case, the pullback this morning, we went from 32 down to what, 80, 88, somewhere in there, 86. So it's you just got to realize that a lot of time I see these things setting up, but it may take 2 or 3 hours for it to unfold. It's kind of like playing cards, It's just okay. These are the cards that I start out with. Okay, well, I'm gonna change these 3 cards out. Okay, give me 3. Then everybody else is doing the same thing. So that's kind of what I relate it to. It's like you're constantly saying, okay, I have to change. I have to do this. I need this for this for this hand to be better than the other hand. And so, and then on top of all of that, keep it simple. I mean, I can't make it go where I want it to go or where I think it's going to go. The only thing I can do is once I'm in a trade is manage my money or my profits. And sometimes if I make 2 points on a trade, I'm happy. Could I made 10? Maybe. Could I have lost 10? Yeah, trying to make 10. So we're trading back at our pivot now. So it's I say it's a double-edged sword. it And the amount of stops, it would be nice if we could tell you, okay, when I first started with Saul, the rule of thumb was 2-point targets, 2-point stops. But back then the market wasn't moving that much. We didn't have these 50 and 60 and 100-point days. Well, you don't have to. Lloyd, you just have to realize that, look, we don't ever know where this is going to work out. So, and basically what we're trying to do in coming here, back then we were looking for 2 to 3 trades a day, and that was it. Well, 2-point target stops, 2-point targets, 3 trades a day. That was $300. And that was trading 1 lots. So depending on your risk tolerance, and you'll hear Saul talk about risk tolerance, I can't tell you that I'm going to do this. And a lot of times he doesn't tell you every trade that he's making either. It's just like I don't. And it's not that I'm trying to be secretive or I know something that somebody else don't. I'm sitting here just focused on this screen, watching this thing, said, okay, we ought to be doing this, this, this. And I'm liable to jump in. And hey, once, my rule of thumb is once it starts moving in my direction, I do not want to lose money. I may scratch the trade. I may only make a tick out of it. If I get kind of leery of it, I'll bail the trade at a point, half a point. I don't care. I'm out. My feel good to get into it for reasoning was one thing, but it's not doing what it should do on the other side. So I'm going, okay, now would be a time to get out. So bounced off that pivot a couple of times in there. I guess about 9:35, I said, well, if we get back above 10, that, that would be a spot to get long. Then it came back down, and I said, okay, we're going back to 1050. Then it shot on up there and kept going. That was just a price action play. What I'm watching the chart doing. I can still have a long-term bias and just doing short-term trades. It would be great if to get in and just hold this trade till Timbuktu. But I also know that I have that 90, what is it? About that 96, 97 area that we ought to come back down to. So now I'm getting, as this market's unfolding, I'm not using fibs at all. I'm just telling you what the market's telling me, that how this price action should unfold. Now, how it unfolds, it's kind of like that deck of cards. We don't know what we're fixing to be dealt. We're coming up on 10 o'clock. We're trading back around that 10, 12 area. The only thing I use my fibs for, Frank, is just I kind of got them divided off into like 25, 50, 75, and 100. I just use them to, how much of this area am I retracing? I got 50% of it or 75% of it. Other than that, fib, don't get me wrong, fibs, a lot of people are fib traders and they do very well at it. It's kind of like, I just choose to keep it simple. Price action says here, I get in here, I'm out there. I don't care. Make a little bit, take some profits, wait for the next opportunity. We're trading back at our blue band again, down around that 10 area. Like I said, we had 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 area. Had a lot of things going on in that spot. We got up to that 1750 and stopped. And see, I can look at the chart and say, okay, at 18, we got a little bit of some resistance up there. We got a little more at 20. And we also have that 22 area. So when I'm looking at these levels that I gave out this morning. I'm I'm watching on, okay, where are we at in relationship to these levels? Where should we be going from these levels? And it's hard to see everything that's happening. And and I got the 95 level down there, but I'm going, okay. And I started not to use the 88. I'm going, no, it's a level. Take it. And so far it was a key level. So I've had several different spots, levels. I call them intermediate levels, price action levels that I have unfolded since the market has opened up. And let's see. Remember, I told you about the 97. It's going to have to, it's kind of like a little magnet down there right now. And I had a reason to get short about the 875 area. I would probably start to cover around the 2 or the 3. Yeah, that was just a pure price action play that I'm doing there. I'm looking for it to get back to the 97. Uh, I'm also looking for it to get to 3,200. Now, like I said, this is just what it does every day. It just unfolds, and I can be right on the end results. This question is when. And so right now it says the market's going down. We are bouncing right. We coming into that green band. I'm short coming into it. I'd say, okay, I'm out. Cover down there at the 2. Hey, I'm a happy camper. We went from 8 and 6 3/4 points out of it. So I'm going, okay, next trade. Does it have to hit the 97? It should. But am I going to try and hold it till it gets there? No. And the reason I'm not is I've come down into that level of that 1-2 area that says I need to get out. And that came from knowing how many times I've given up profit. Now, if you've got a 2 lot and you're short from up there at the 8, in order to stay with this trade, you're going to have to give it some room to breathe. So you're going to have your stop up at least 13. 13, 14 area. And I'm going, nah, I'd just soon take, I'm going to risk a bunch to make another 3 points or so. Is there 10 points in this trade? Probably. Is it worth the headaches? Nah, that was a nice, easy trade. I got in, it ran down, took 2/3 of the profit range out of it. I'm going, pat myself on the back, go to the next trade. I could beat myself up, say, man, I should have held on. I should have held on. Really and truly, it hadn't gone much lower than at that 1-2 area. Rocking and roll. It's 10 o'clock now. I'm sitting here trading it. It's 10, the laughter. And I've had a bias up there at 32 and also 97. And I can't tell you which way it's going to go first, but it's 10 o'clock. I would suspect we're going to see the 97 first, but it doesn't have to. Bye, Casey. Have a good one. Saul will be back in tomorrow. Guys, I'm going to be sitting here in the background. If anybody needs anything, just holler. They're just having a hard time taking it down to that 97. They should take it to 96. I hate to see target areas down there and it doing stuff like this. Just get on down there, all right. Let's change directions. Yeah, finally we get down there. I tell you what, have the patience to sit and wait for these trades to show themselves to happen. It just takes forever. Now the question we have now is where do we go from here? For this price action to unfold correctly, we should have went down to 36, or excuse me, 96. We only got to 675. At least in my mind, the way I'm thinking about it. I would have liked it to see it touch 96, then reverse up, but it could hit 96, 95, and just keep on trucking. We don't know. There we go. We at least got to the 96. We're going to come down and test our low again. we've got a little bit of support here at 80, 79, 80 area. Not much, but some. Our next level down below is going to be at 76. If you took the 79s, you're getting paid off a little bit. Should be able to get us back close to 85. And we got us back to 84. Coming down into our 76 zone. We took the 76, you got paid off. We got up to 80. see if we can get 83 out of this critter. There we go. Hey, 76 getting paid off. Should see 85. There we go. That was a good little pop off to 76. Guys, we're at 10:30. The levels this morning have worked. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 level trades, plus several price action plays in there. They've all worked to different degrees in different speeds, but they've all could have made money on all of them. It depends on how quick you are. You got down to 76.50. I want to be in the background. I'm going to post the numbers one more time for some folks that came in a little later. If you'll look in the chat, there are numbers that we were using today are posted in the chat room or to the chat board here. And I will be in the background if anyone has any questions.